instead of the Winter Wyvern that we saw Empire ban out last game.
I think they recognize the strength of Night Stalker though, so and they realize their second pick, so they're like, okay, it's first pick material.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get rid of this. The IO ban. I don't really.
Actually, Empire was first pick previous game as well.
10 seconds
Yeah.
remaining.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to make of that Wisp ban though. Is that something that Monkey Freedom Fighters have been playing much?
It wasn't banned nor picked previous game, so I have to say I'm quite surprised.
I don't know what any of these players play IO. Now maybe I'm totally wrong, but I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I mean, Tiny Wisp is such a prevalent strategy now. Maybe they just don't want to really deal with that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, possibly. Are there any strategies that Empire could be going for that Wisp is particularly good against? I can't really think of anything off the top of my head.
Bat Rider?
Bat Rider, yeah.
You could always defensive relocate to disjoint that.
Yeah.
Lasso.
First pick Doom, okay.
Here we go, boys.
So probably safe lane Silent Doom again, farming it up.
So last game it was a second phase ban by Monkey Freedom Fighters.
Yeah.
And Team Empire picks it up straight up. So this is the run at you meta. This hero is great at running at you and also away from you.
I think there's still Quid of Pain, there's still Lina. You know, especially against high regen heroes like Doom, just blowing him up. Tusk also has a lot of burst damage. You know, because you don't want to do like damage over time, slow deeps. You need to completely
do bursts, and that's exactly what they pick, like you said, Lina Tusk. Good start, yeah?
Yeah, it's a very good start.
Yeah, I like this opener. As you mentioned, 100% win rate with Tusk. They're going to keep on keeping on.
And if they didn't pick it up in the first two, it would have been banned out in the second phase, so...
Yeah.
At this point, against Monkey Freedom Fighters, I'd almost say that I'd prioritize Tusk ban over the Darkseer. I don't know... Like, Darkseer obviously is a pretty strong hero, but I don't see the need to ban him first. Or unless I'm completely missing something here.
It combos up so well with a lot of heroes. It's
Well,
like,
Team Empire picks a lot of melee cores, so Darkseer is just really annoying in the laning stage.
that's true.
Yeah.
And also in team fights, it's just annoying to deal with again, so...
There's still no Earthshaker picked. I think Earthshaker is really good against Lina. You know, if she's doing that Yule's combo, it completely interrupts it. You can predict where they're going to land the snowball.
Are you guys thinking this is likely to be a core Lina?
I'm not sure, yeah.
I think
Still
this is where you just
50-50.
leave it open and kind of see how it goes. Winter Wyvern is still in the pool, by the way. Last time was first phase bans. Although, I'm not sure Co-Embrace is the best spell you want to have against Lina.
That's amazing, actually. The Dazzle pick. Like,
I mean, this is the same strat they ran yesterday against Four Clovers.
This is total comfort zone for Empire.
It shuts down all the burst damage, allows the Doom to use that regen to the full potential.
Yeah. All right.
And also, like, Doom suffers with the old lack of armor, and having the weave on top of that is
Yeah,
amazing.
that's a good point. Though you can always grab that Frost Ogre, or Ice Ogre rather, in the jungle early on to kind of help compensate for that low armor.
TA ban.
Definitely one of the less utilized creeps, I think. Most people likes the Alpha Wolf.
The Alpha Wolf is definitely better later on, but in the early laning stage, if you get, was it +8 armor, I think? It's insane.
And the
attack slow.
Yeah. It's like a maxed out Lich Frost armor.
Okay, so I think Lina core is actually still extremely good, even with the Yule's nerf.
It's kind of surprising to see the Ogre banned out, actually. Considering
The Ogre?
Yeah, but considering it didn't really do a lot last game.
Then again, like, if you leave Lina as a 4 support, she's still a Doom target.
Yeah.
And she's a 4 support. Do you know what I mean? So it is an option.
I think she's a little bit stronger on support relative to how she was before the patch now. Before she was just so good as a core, it was hard to really legitimize putting her on a support. But now with the damage nerfs, she can still provide a lot in the 4. Like you said, she's still really scary, but end of the day, she's still just a support.
Queen of Pain,
Alchemist.
Oh,
here it is.
Is this
Andy
an
Styles was begging for this at the start of the show.
So this is a hero that Acid Spray minus armor. It's
great against Doom.
It just really comes down how they want to play this, right? Whether it's a mid, safe lane, support.
The thing I like the most about Alchemist with the heroes they have, like Tusk and Lina, are both really good early game at roaming. So you can secure the bounty runes for Alchemist. You know what I mean? So if you're a mid Alchemist and you can rotate to the runes really quickly, like getting that 250 gold every time you go for a rune is insanity.
Yeah. Now, everyone's, well, not everyone, a lot of people are talking about the Aghanim's. I can give it to other heroes. The one hero I think I want to see is Undying with an early Aghanim's from an Alchemist. I think that is one strategy that could be disgusting.
Yeah,
I'm
we
not
saw
sure it will be
yesterday an
good here,
attempt at an Aghanim's, but just fairly late, I believe, for Ninjas in Pajamas. an early
they want
Aghanim.
I don't think you can just go straight Aghanims. You still need to get some other core items in the Alchemist. Like Andy was saying earlier, a mech or something is really core.
Guardian Greaves could be kind of
Guardian
cool.
Greaves, those kind of items first, but
Interesting. Okay, so
very interesting.
still,
Shadow Fiend for
do you
Empire.
think this Alchemist is going to be mid? Oh, amazing against Doom to stop the HP regen.
Amazing against Dazzle as well.
And it's kind of like a counter pick as well, because one of the biggest things that stops an Alchemist is stopping his ultimate regen, and having the Ancient Apparition to completely shut that down is amazing. Yeah, and the Dazzle as well, as you said. It outlasts the Grave and guarantees the kill.
Yeah, one of the also very underrated thing about Ancient Apparition is first the sight he gives you with Chilling Touch, as well as the amplifies the magic damage you have. But more importantly, Chilling Touch also adds a ton of magic damage that you don't expect from Alchemist and Tusk. So Doom, Dazzle, these are essentially high armor heroes, especially Shadow Fiend with that mech that eventually he'll get. Suddenly you're just getting free, 70, 80 extra magic damage per hit.
Yeah.
Works very well with the core Lina. Once you have the Fiery Soul stack, you give her Chilling Touch, she is the machine gun.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I think Empire really need a strong tempo controller here. Right now I'm looking at their team fight, and if they get the farm on Doom and Shadow Fiend, sure, they'll be really scary, but getting to that point is going to be very difficult. Dazzle's provides a lot, but does not provide much in the way of control.
They should still go for that Naga that you mentioned earlier. That would actually fit really well here.
Especially with the Shadow Fiend, the setup for the
they have so much minus armor.
And in the early stages, you got the Dazzle, got a level in mirror images, so you got some extra nuke damage there as well. Be able to be aggressive.
Shadow Demon as well, actually, is pretty decent. If they snowball in on someone, you can disrupt the person. Sets up the Shadow Fiend ulti. It's good to protect, another protect spell on top of Dazzle. Yeah. But then they'd need like an aggressive hero.
Okay, the Earthshaker is a really good fit here. That's the stun and the control that they were lacking.
Yeah, and you mentioned it earlier, Shane, as well, that it would be a good in the hands of Empire to basically disrupt anything they do.
Yeah, just disrupt their combos. Like.
Yeah.
The thing I like about if they do play Alchemist mid and Tusker offlane is both of the heroes have a setup stun for Lina. So like she could nearly solo roam.
That is true, yeah.
It's like very, very powerful. It's a lot of burst damage in the early stages of the game.
Reserve time.
So the thing I like about this Monkey Freedom Fighters draft is it's still really versatile. You have this Lina and Tusk who can kind of play a variety of roles here, and they have a lot of flexibility to set up these lanes. They won't have the luxury of the final pick, so they will have to decide how they want to set up these lanes, and Empire will be able to react, but still a very open-ended draft. And even the Alchemist, he could be in the safe lane, could be in the mid role. We still don't really know.
I think that's one of the big strengths of Monkey Freedom Fighters lineup. Like if you're Empire, you're kind of like, it's kind of obvious what they're gonna do. Who's the support, who's the core.
Yeah.
The thing is then again, Alchemist still has really, really low armor, and they have Weave and Shadow.
There's always a very interesting like Doom target against Alchemist. If you blink it and Dooms the Alchemist, but he gets off the ult before you do it, you're like, oh damn. But if he doesn't, then it's like an easy kill. So it's always a interesting, like as a Doom player, do you blink it and do you just go for it or you don't?
Yeah.
Very true.
It's an interesting dynamic.
Well, last pick, what are we thinking here?
Does Shadow Demon's ulti disrupt Doom? Because Shadow Demon does not disrupt Doom, disrupt the Scorched Earth. Does it turn it off?
No.
Okay.
I think you regen while you're in the Nether Realm.
You do.
No, like as in the ulti, does it turn off his Scorched Earth?
Oh, you mean the Demonic Purge?
Yes.
No.
It's not a passive.
Yeah, it's
it's
like a spell buff.
It's also not really a buff. Because I don't think you could purge that either.
Yeah.
So it's not passive where you could break. It's not a.
Right.
Yeah, it's just there.
Yeah.
It's angry fire from hell. You cannot get rid of it.
Yeah, that's true. It's probably not technically a buff in that sense. I think though, just looking at this draft, I think it's most likely to be a Tusk offlane, Alchemist mid, and they're looking for a safe lane carry here. Something like a Gyrocopter could be a nice bit of team fight just to synergize well.
Maybe the Ember
with
again?
the team.
Ember could work again, yeah, really well.
Yeah, they need a true damage dealer, right?
I think they want a ranged carry as well here. They've already got a lot of melee.
Sure. Don't want to clump up against that Earthshaker. That's definitely true. But we're expecting something like an Alchemist Tusk offlane. Chaos Knight.
Okay, I did not expect that one.
Chaos Knight Ancient Apparition. That is so old school.
That is so sick damage as well. Now you could not only hit them with minus armor, but also magic damage.
A little risky against the Earthshaker though.
We actually might see the return of Chilling Touch. Or not Chilling Touch, Cold Feet.
Yeah, yeah.
The Q.
Early levels.
Normally you skip it as a AA, because you just don't expect you to land, but there's a chance of a 4-second stun into more stunnage from AA.
I do think Chaos Knight is really underrated in general. That hero does an absurd amount of damage. He can be a little slow to get a start, but if he has even decent momentum, he does so much work in the mid to late game.
The problem is he doesn't have any flash farm or any way to catch up.
Exactly.
So if they shut him down early game,
he's great at flash farming heroes.
That's true.
Just go. Necrophos.
Necrophos, okay.
Okay, now well, tell me, who's going to win? You've seen the draft. Game 2, Monkey Freedom Fighters Empire. Go.
I think Monkey Freedom Fighters. I want to see this Chaos Knight Alchemist do work.
Okay.
Louis?
I'm a doubter.
Oh, God.
I'm going to go with Empire.
Yeah, I'm going with Empire too. Necrolight's my favorite hero. I want to see people dead for 5 years.
Okay, well, I think it's going to be Monkey Freedom Fighters. We'll hear soon what the casters think because it is time to go into the game with Andy and Owen.
Indeed, thank you very much, Shiva. Game 2 is underway. I'm ODPixel, I'm here with Draskell, and let's, without any further ado, just get this show on the road. Andy, what are we thinking? This is keeping with the whole kind of trend of just new and exciting picks in 6.85.
I gotta say, I'm happy about the Alchemist. I was actually thinking to myself, CK would be really nice against what Empire had, just in the sense that up until when they picked it, they only really had Earthshaker to deal with it. I don't really consider Raze to be super strong against late game CK, because that's the only other form of AoE they had. Of course, they did end up picking up Necrolite, which I'm pretty torn about that one in particular. I mean, I know that it can be good against Alchemist, for example, because you can just straight up kill him when he gets to half HP, you know, if you have that sustained damage output to keep him at that threshold, you know, then you can take him out. But if these heroes get ahead, that Necrolite is going to be just food. Like, there is not a whole lot you're going to be able to do against farm Alchemist, farm CK if you do not have a good start.
Okay, looks like we're going to have a quick remake. So, to apologise for that, ladies and gentlemen at home. We are going to have to wait on Teams to get ourselves back in for into a new lobby. It looks like there's some server issues here with this one that we're currently in at the moment. So, sorry for that. But yes, talking about the lineup. So, why the Necrophos this game? Is it, as you said, to deal with the fact that you can just totally just shut down the Alch if you get him to half health? You haven't got to worry about that regen, or why else do you think that Empire picked that up this game?
I mean, that's one of the reasons. The other thing too is, I guess if you have it with Dazzle, it can be pretty strong, because one of the weaknesses of Necrophos is that he's actually very susceptible to, well, pretty much all types of damage. Actually, he's pretty squishy. But if you have Dazzle on your team, it's not so bad. I think this is just kind of an experimentation. Like, I don't really think it's something that they're super familiar with in terms of playing the hero. Obviously, on paper, you know what it does. You're like, okay, yeah, I got Death Pulse, you know, I got Sadist, and Heartstopper's pretty good, Ulti's pretty good. Maybe if I get Aghanims, we can win the game at like 50 minutes by just killing 2 people when they don't have buyback, and everything will be fine. But I'm just as curious as you are how this is going to work out.
I think what I'm kind of surprised about, or what's going to be interesting to see how it goes down, is the fact that, of course, they have got the AA. So they're going to be able to shut down the healing essentially on the Scorched Earth, on the Dazzle's Weave, on the Necrophos. So this is a fantastic game for Ice Blast.
I mean, when I saw the AA picked, that's kind of what sparked the CK for me, because I remember that combination, like Shiva said, it's very old school. Yeah. But I was also thinking about the lack of AoE they had. I was like, oh, CK would be nice. But for the same reason you also said is why the pick itself was good, is Alchemist on the team, if they picked AA, and then it would have been like, oh, well, now all of a sudden we just don't really do anything anymore because our Alchemist lost all his regen. Yes. Because even at level 1, it's 50 health regeneration a second, and if you don't have that, then your hero is pretty much all but worthless.
Absolutely. I mean, the Alchemist itself, do you think we are going to be seeing build Aghanims for other heroes on the team, or is that something that may be coming out in the very later portions of the game? Or is anyone, do you feel that it might work out to put that onto the Alchemist to do rather than them themselves farming the Aghanims?
It depends on how far ahead they get.
Yeah.
I really think that buying Aghanims for heroes, maybe you would get it for the AA.
Rather than the AA getting it himself.
Yeah, the AA upgrade is actually very, very good.
Oh, yeah. Especially against the lineup. We were talking about the strength of the Ice Blast.
Like, you want the AA Ice Blast to be Aghanis upgraded, like, without a doubt. But I think you really want your core items first. Like,
yeah.
Anything with HP on it, like getting the mech, obviously, because Alchemist has pretty abysmal starting armor. You want to boost your effective HP as much as possible, get some treads. Maybe, you know, like Halberd is also something that we saw a lot when Alchemist was picked mid, because it increases your HP and it gives you evasion. So you get like plus armor from the mech, you get health from the Halberd and evasion. So you're already like effective HP wise with your ulti on, you're like good to go. Like that's the only core you need to really be able to just walk in the front line and do what you want. And the other thing too is, I also believe they mentioned this on the couch, when you doom an Alchemist, if he has Chemical Rage on, doesn't matter. He just walks it off. Like, it actually just does nothing.
All that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I think as well, we're almost certainly going to see Doom prioritize try and get an early Blink Dagger so he can get in and make sure he gets the Doom off before the Chemical Rage is going to be there. Because then if you do that, I mean, you're probably going to kill the Alchemist every day.
He's super
fairly
sad.
Squishy and fairly sad if you can catch him without the ult.
Yeah, if you do that, he's a goner, 100%. But I'm curious to see how he does mid against the Shadow Fiend. Because, I mean, this isn't... I mean, is it going to be Yoku Shadow Fiend? His resolution just... Is he always
Yoku's
off
been
lane
stepping
now?
it up recently, hasn't he, on the mid lane? He's been doing some pretty good performances. Even in the last game where they did obviously lose, the Quap was doing fairly well in the laning stage. And I don't think it was on Yoku's shoulders at all, that loss. But we will see who Yoku is picking up, as we should be able to get ourselves back into the game very shortly. Yep. We are into the new lobby, and we are now in game, just getting the heroes being picked up by the relevant players. But yeah, I mean, Empire's draft, do you think they have the potential to get an equalizer here, or do you favour Monkey Freedom Fighters lineup? Do you think it's just a little bit more robust and a little bit safer?
The thing is with Empire is 4 of their picks are like super standard, and then they got Necro, and I'm like, I really just, I don't know how else to say it. I just don't like that pick for this game. I just think it's super weak. I mean, look at how many disables they have on Monkey Freedom Fighter. So you got Snowball, you got Walrus Punch, you got Chaos Knight Stun, you have Unstable Concoction, you have Cold Feet, you have Light Strike Array. The burst is completely through the roof. They have CK Phantasm, which sure, you have Shaker, but if the Shaker for whatever reason gets clipped by like any spell and he can't blink, then your Necro's dead. Like, I really just think it's going to be very hard for him to function. He has to be ahead, like 24/7. Like, there's no way he's going to play this game from behind and have a good time.
Well, let's see how it goes down as the game has kicked back off, and we can get ourselves straight into in-game, so you can all follow down the action, hopefully. No, not yet.
No, we can't get in-game.
No, we can't.
We have actually just been told no.
Yeah, sorry.
Never again.
One at a time. Soon.
We tried our best.
Yeah, we'll nearly be there. But yeah, it's starting to get underway, and have we got further issues?
Seems like the lag problem is still persisting throughout different games. So,
well, sorry about this. We're doing our best here. It's beyond our control, unfortunately. But yeah, looks like is he just going to try and go for a straight reconnect here?
Could be his internet actually, because I don't think anyone.
I mean, no one else seems to be having. Are we having issues on the spectator side of things?
I don't think so.
I can't type a dash on this silly keyboard.
Yeah,
really good keyboard, actually. Corsair, fantastic. But I'm not used to these language settings. That's what it is. It's confusing me.
If you have console enabled, you can just open console and do it that way.
I don't know if I do on this keyboard.
Because I don't have mine enabled. So. I think that the regular binding is F10. Right?
Oh, I guess I can just set the settings on Reborn to show me the in-game stats. But yeah, we're just waiting for a reconnect here on one of the players on the side of Empire. So do hold on with us. We'll be able to get it on, and I'm looking forward to it. I was saying, you know, I think the 2 heroes really that I'm most excited to see how they work out are the Alchemist and the Necro. Because I mean, the Chaos Knight, even though it's not the most common pick, I kind of feel there's been a few games recently where he still has been picked up. You know, there's never really been a period where he's totally been ignored. Whereas with Alchemist in particular, I mean, kind of throughout 6.8 for the latter half of it, a lot of people were just seeing the heroes just not good.
I don't know. I think a lot of people always look at a hero that's not very popular and it's like, oh, this hero's not good. And then all it takes is like one competitive game and somebody shows the potential.
And then they're like, oh my, everyone's like, everyone not picking him?
This is the best hero in the game. I played this hero before it was good. But yeah, I don't know. Dota's always been that way.
Yeah.
And I think when you see changes, like I used to be very dismissive of changes when I saw patch notes. So for example, when Sniper's Shrapnel got changed to 3 charges originally, I thought, that seems okay, but I don't know how it's going to be that good. And I was like, so wrong about that. Like it actually just boosted the hero into like top tier competitive level play.
Wow.
But when they change stuff nowadays, I look at everything and I think, what is it actually useful for in regards to heroes like Alchemist? And just being able to throw out one spell to kill a creep wave sounds like a small thing, but it's huge. Imagine, for example, when they increased Shadow Fiend's raise damage by 25, and everyone was like, that's a pretty mediocre change. But the reality is, you one-shot the range creep at level 7, which is a big deal. So stuff like that matters.
Well, we'll see if MFF can indeed start to get that ball rolling in terms of the meta and show us what they can do here with Necroman, of course, being the one to man up on the Alchemist in the mid lane. And here we go, we are now in game. Hopefully we'll be able to get everything on now without any more hiccups. It looks like the ping issues have been cleared up and both teams ready to go here in game 2 between Monkey Freedom Fighters and Empire. Of course, 1-0 at the moment to MFF. Empire going to look to do their best to equalise.
And our observer.
There we go. Our thank you for testing Reborn message appears on the screen.
All right.
So, I kind of jinxed it. I did say we're ready to go without any more hiccups.
Damn it, Owen.
That was my fault. Reborn listens. It's watching us all, and it's like, oh, those guys, they haven't had an issue in a couple of minutes. We better send one out right now. Yeah. But hopefully, touch wood. We don't have any wood. I've only got some kind of a sheen. Oh, there's some wood in here, I think.
I think there's wood.
Oh, there's wood under here. Yeah, I've got my fingers on some wood now.
There's some on the corner of the desk as well.
Yes, yes. So we should be fine in a second as we get ourselves back into the lobby. The game will still be underway. That's the issue for seems to be for spectators, where it seems to kick us out when we're in a caster slot when the game is underway. But it'll be fine for the players. The players will still be going. Have we missed anything? Andy's in first. No, we haven't, and we're back in now ourselves as well. We didn't miss anything. So we didn't miss nothing. Don't you worry. Nothing has gone astray. So mid lane at the moment, so Necroman's going to have to deal with a couple of heroes here, as we have got the Shaker hanging around here with Yoku. At the same time, Yapzor's turn around to try and help up Necro. There's going to be the Fisher coming out, gets a raise through. But there's kind of 2-on-2 here in the mid lane. And elsewhere, Sing Sing, of course, on his off lane Tusk. Just giving a bit of a hit to Go Black here as they trade some punches. And bottom lane Mad will have the support of the AA. And doing his best to farm up against the off-lane Doom. I mean, Doom, of course, yesterday, we saw him time and time being put in the safe lane role. This time we're seeing him in the off-lane, Andy. The kind of what has always been the more common position for him to be in previous patches.
It's just, Doom is a hero, and I think we actually talked about this before.
Yeah.
He doesn't really need an amazing lane. He just needs a lane where he can get some experience. And eventually, if he needs to, he can go to the jungle. You know, he can just go use Devoured. He can get like a Wildkin, do some creep stacking. He can get a Dark Troll Summoner. He can use the Skeletons to go from camp to camp and buy a bottle for himself and whatnot. So no matter what, the hero pretty much gets the farm and the experience that it needs. And then even if you're not having a great game, Doom is always going to be fantastic utility in every single team fight. You throw it out on somebody before they use any of their skills, then they just don't get a chance to really shine in that fight. And that's not farm dependent. The only thing that matters is you being level 6.
Now Doom, he's giving a bit of the old board down there to Lina. And mid lane CS wise, 6 for 4, it's 9 for 9, so Yoku with the lead at the moment. And we'll see how Necroman's able to keep on the similar level here to the Shadow Fiend. Top lane, Beaver Knight, Mr. Sing Song. Kind of TP is soaking up the XP. Silent and Go Black are there. They're going to try and make a go on this one. Coming in with the punches. Beaver Knight, though, with the ice shards very nicely. Going to stop any further aggression as he's able to walk away. There is also a bit of a wrap round here from Shaker. As Lohar Dance is trying to find a Fisher potentially, but Sing Sing at the moment with the Jukes, he's got to be careful what route he takes back. He is going to get found out now, and he could be in trouble here. As the snowballs across to Aloha Dance, and indeed, can he still find the Fisher, though? He's going to look for it, will find it, but it's not going to block Sing Sing, and Sing Sing will be able to walk away and gets himself out of there. Now they might just turn it. Here we go with the concoction brewing up here from Necroman. Chucks it down to Go Black. Yapzor's there with a follow-up Light Strike Array. Nice shots from Sing. Going to block Go Black in. Of course, a level 2 no point in Shallow Grave at the moment. Eats the mango, goes for the YOLO heal. Not going to save his life there. And Necroman with a final punch to the back gets the first blood there for Monkey Freedom Fighters.
Okay, so why did he mango? I'm looking at it, I'm thinking to myself, all right, if I have Grave, maybe I mango there just to make him waste more time. And, you know, maybe Aloha Dance has like an extra clarity that he can pop and they can fissure the high ground. Maybe you save him, you know, maybe that's the play. But if you have Poison Touch and Heal and you're 2 auto attacks away from dying, using a mango ain't gonna save you. Like that Ice Shards was not gonna disappear by the time you were gonna be dead, no matter what happens, unless you have Grave. So interesting choice from Goblack to use that in that particular situation, but still, their middle player is doing exceptionally well. With the Alchemist having chased that kill, it's 23 and 17 right now for Yoku. So he is just dominating this lane.
And Yoku having a great time. Indeed. Necroman, he has of course got an invis rune bottled up here. He may be in trouble though. The fish are coming out and he's got to put that invis straight away to start getting this ball regen charges out. So playing it safe here in the mid lane. Still does have the Lina hanging around. Doom, Mr. Offlane, has made a bit of a waltz into the Radiant jungle here. Just trying to disrupt what was going on there with the side pulls and such. But CK, 27 for 14 on Mad at this point in time. 30 for 19 here on the position 1 Necro. So doing a lot of work, of course, back on the side of Empire. And both safe laners having a relatively good time at the moment.
Not too surprising. It's not like Doom can really pressure the offlane. He's more just the guy who gets the farm that he needs from just using Devour and then gets the experience from just sitting here. And then once he gets 6, he just goes and dooms. Same thing can be said for the Tusk. It's not like he's expected to kill on this lane. It is going to be a Dazzle after all with a Necrophos, so I doubt he's going to be finding any solo action. Just depends a lot on the rotations, really, of both of the enemy team supports, but it's really hard to actually get a kill, I feel, as Empire's lineup. I mean, they're going to get a raise. Can they get one more? Yeah, but it's not enough damage.
Low, yeah. He's got the bottle charges. Once he hits level 6, of course, it's going to be a lot harder for them to do that because they don't really have the potential to stun lock him down and stop him from getting the chemical rage off. So Necroman's going to feel a little bit safer farming the lane when he does hit that point in the game.
Top tower is under attack.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it's very difficult for Empire to get a kill, not only on Necroman, but pretty much anyone. Because they only have one stun, right? Like, it's just a Shaker stun. So they're relying pretty heavily on MFF being the ones who want to go in. And when that happens, we saw game number 1, when MFF have the opportunity to get the jump, they always get their man, like 9 times out of 10. And once that happens, then all of a sudden you're behind and you're fighting down someone. We are going to see a smoke.
Sing Sing, I want to try and lead in here with the ice shards, but Low Dancing go back there. It might be a bit of a risky dive here. They have got Yapzor here with a wraparound. Light Strike connects onto Yoku. They've got the concoction toss straight back onto a Low Dance. Yoku trying to turn it around with the raises. Looks like no one is going to die here though.
Miscommunication for sure. I mean, Necroman maybe thought that Yoku was going to be able to walk away, but the Ice Shards actually kind of held him in place for a little while, and instead of throwing the concoction on the Shadow Fiend, which probably would have gotten a kill, I guess Godblack is level 3.
He did have the Grave, yeah.
It would have been close.
Yeah,
There was a decent chance they would have killed him there.
Oh, still, just remaining at 1-0 at the moment. 7 minutes in. A little bit different, of course, the tempo we saw in game 1. I think it was something like 8-1. The side of MFF about the 8-minute mark, so
yeah,
a little bit of a slower pace going on here, and so far slightly favoring Empire in terms of CS at least. They are on the top of the board, but it is very, very close. And even though there is a big difference between SF and Alk in CS, you got to remember, yeah, because of the passive Grieval's gold net worth is very even between both the Alk and the Shadow Fiend.
Getting them bounty runes, man, just worth so much to the Alchemist. And like you mentioned, you only need that 1 point. That's the great thing about Alchemist mid. It's like safe lane, yeah, you probably want to max it just because you're expected to get free farm in that situation. But when you're mid, you still have to be able to contest the lane in some manner. And Necroman's still managing to do that with his build. He has opted to go 2-2-1. I'm not sure which is going to be the de facto build for Alchemist going forward, but they did buff the damage of Acid Spray pretty significantly, I might add. So I thought that he might go for the max, but he is opting in for the stun right now.
I mean, with that in mind, what do you think we're going to see his first pickup be after the treads?
I really like Midas. I think Midas is so good for him because his ult is a very low mana cost spell. So between everything that he has right now, max level Acid Spray is 160 and Concoction is always 120. And then Chemical Rage goes from 50 to 100 to 150. So you're always going to have mana to pretty much use everything. And plus, when you pop Chemical Rage, you get that bonus mana regeneration anyway. Which means if you get any item with mana regeneration at all, like percentage-wise, it just makes you regen like almost your whole mana bar just by popping the ult. So mana is not really ever the issue for him. It's more about his durability and the team fights, because if you look at him, he's 2 base armor at level 7. That's like 1 ring of protection worth of armor. Actually, it's less.
We'll see if Empire can punish that. I mean, they're smoking up at the moment. They are looking to make a move towards the top lane. Sing all alone. Maybe sandwiched in here. 3 behind, 1 in front.
There's so much hate right now.
He's going to need some kind of reaction from MFF.
He's going to need a miracle.
If they want to try and keep this Tusk alive, and it looks like... Oh, he's going to have to start... Oh, no. He does. Oh, sink. No, he can't get himself away. It was a nice attempt, though. Snowball across there with the shards as well, trying to block him back. But Empire will, of course, get themselves the kill there.
That was actually very close. And again, it shows kind of the weakness right now of Empire's draft and only having that one stun, is the fact that he was able to actually get that far away from a 3-man wraparound, okay? Now, granted, they didn't have Doom. They just had the level 5 and level 3 Scorched Earth, but... yeah, I think Empire... it's looking okay for now. I'm just really skeptical if a one-stun team is going to do well in the mid-game versus what MFF have right now.
Interesting enough as well, out. Mr. Necroman saving up the goal, coming up to 2k here. So yet to give away what he wants to invest in. I mean, is there ever a situation where you may see him just go for a straight-up Blink Dagger?
Blink is good. Like, Blink is definitely good. Especially when you have a team with, like, CK on it and AA Ice Blast and stuff like that. You have a lot of follow-up. So having the initiation is never going to be a bad thing. I'm just kind of wondering that myself. Like, he's still saving money. Like, if he was going to buy Blink Dagger, I feel as soon as you get the money, if you have that in mind, you just pick it up, right?
What
you
about
don't wait.
how silly is a Radiance Rush on this hero?
Well, it's not necessarily silly. It obviously increases your farm rate by a lot, you know? And it does let you get to that kind of critical mass a little bit quicker. But I do feel like by buying a Radiance, you're making yourself very squishy for a long time, and that allows Empire to kind of exploit you a little bit, I feel. If you just build something for the early mid-game team fight, and then you want to go back for a bigger item cost kind of build up later, I think that's maybe a bit safer than just saying, okay, I'll buy Radiance, stick with my 1000 HP, and then I get doomed into a scythe and I'm just dead.
What about the surprise Aghanim's for AA? Just straight up.
That could actually be pretty good.
I would love to see that.
That could actually
be pretty
good.
next level.
Because the thing is, the debuff lasts so long. Like, it goes from...
He's moving the courier.
At level 1, it's more than double duration.
It's got to be... It's either going to be the Relic or it's either going to be a point booster.
I'm leaning more towards Relic at this point. They could be feeling confident that their team is strong to a point where it doesn't matter if Empire try to fight them or not. It's just... their team is good enough to be able to de-push, right? Because you have the AA Blast, you got Acid Spray, you got the Dragon Slave. They have a lot of tools to de-push, and Necroman.
Ooh. If Empire, they're smoked up. If Empire find him. Okay, that's good for Necroman. He will be able to find that final bit of gold here.
Not good for the rest of them.
It's true. Resolution. He's coming in. Yoku there with his lead-up raise. They're looking for Paris. They'll find that one. That's going to be AA dropped here. Mad dropped on the side, but will be able to rift himself across it. Is doomed up, though, and Mad will almost certainly go down as they get the final punches through. Yoku there with a double kill. They'll get 2 of them. Meanwhile, the Necroman does pick up his relic, so it is going to be the Radiance Rush.
I was not expecting a Radiance and a mid-Alchemist. That is for sure. And I think that as soon as Empire see this relic, they say to themselves, all right, we got probably about 10 to 15 minutes. And then that's going to be the point where Necroman starts to just have way too many items. So they're probably thinking about that right now, going, all right, we need to try to find some fights, need to push. They did have a very nice smoke right there, managing to pick off 2 relative ease and get the safe lane tier 1 tower. There's another reason why I feel like Radiance is inherently risky, because if the enemy team starts taking away map control from you like that, and you go for a greedy build like Radiance and don't have any utility yet, you have a potential to get bullied, right? Like, that's the biggest problem with it. So hopefully Necroman can overcome that by just sheer farming speed. I mean, he's certainly farming well. He's going to have it at less than 15 minutes in.
Now lower dance is silent. Making a move towards the mid lane. Hanging around in the Radiant jungle. They have got backup as well, getting the push down mid. So looking to take maybe another tower here. They've already found the tier 1 on the top, tier 1 on the bottom, and Empire are yet to lose a tower themselves. So map control certainly favoring the side of the Dire here. And with this push, and maybe able to find the tier 1 here with the next bit of action. Necroman, okay, he's got the recipe now. So yeah, Radiance will be online here. So, I mean, in terms of AoE damage, you know, the Acid Spray and the Radiance, it's not something you can laugh about. But they do have, of course, a lot of heals on the side of Empire. It's going to be a question if the Ice Blast can connect.
I mean, Acid Spray lasts for 16 seconds at every level. That means the creep wave is dying no matter what. Which sounds like a small thing, but just being able to stand there, pull the creeps off the tower with Acid Spray, turn on your Chemical Rage and say, okay, come at me if you want, but I'm going to be a hard kill no matter what. Like, that could be the game plan right now for MFF.
Mad. Hiding in the trees here. Are they going to come looking for him?
He's fine.
Silent. He's going to look.
Right.
Oh,
Not
Mad.
fine.
He's in a lot of trouble. We'll get the Phantasm out here. Does get 2 of them out. And here we go. Looking for
Ice
Resolution.
Blast.
Ice Blast is going to be nice. Crosses over. Hits onto Resolution. It might be able to bring the Doom down.
Oh,
No.
he scythed the
He's going to
wrong
be able to
one.
get himself. Oh, did he?
He scythed the Phantasm illusion.
Oh. It might not matter though. They might still kill Mad. They're going to pop the Echo Slam to make sure they do.
Dire's middle tower.
So they do still get the kill.
That's not even worth it, honestly. Like, there's no tower there to kill. They lost their tier 1 mid in the meantime. He scythed an illusion.
Dire's middle
If he had
tower
gotten the
is under
scythe
attack.
on Mad, I'd say, okay, that's probably even, you know, because it's another 30 seconds on the res timer. Means he's not farming for that much longer. But they're taking damage on their tier 1 in the safe lane. They lost their bottom. Or excuse me, they lost their mid tier 1. So,
Absol.
Radiant's bottom tower
He's going to
is
see
under
Go
attack.
Black here. I'm not going to go for him though. Just the Ice Blast coming down onto the bottom lane to stop them from pushing. Top lane, I'll see a bit of a push coming out from MFF. Sing Sing working his way onto this tier 1.
Dire's top
Getting a bit of
tower
space
is
to do
under
so as
attack.
well. They do in fact have Lina, maybe looking for a defense, and with the TPs as well, looks like MFF don't want to let this tier 2 go without a fight. Question is, do Empire want to fight? And it looks like
they don't have Echo, and they don't have Scythe.
they don't want to hang around for this. They are out of there, and they're going to look elsewhere, potentially towards the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean,
Paris? That was an interesting TP. Okie dokie.
see you later.
All right, had a little bit of a brain fart there, I think.
Yeah. So for now, seems like Empire is still feeling fairly confident in themselves, knowing that the Alchemists are going to have a while to go.
Ripped in here by the Rift.
BKB.
Oh, he gets the BKB off in time. He does, and it's going to be a nice Requiem. Clipping onto Beaver Knight. Sing Sing will get taken down. Their mega kill streak here for Yoku. Mad hanging around on the high ground. They're questioning whether they can still fight here. He doesn't have Phantasm available. Light Strike though in. The right clicks onto a lower. That's not going to be enough. The heal is there. The Laguna Blade and the Concoction will finish off the Shaker. So they get a kill in return. Just a 1-for-1. Mad bringing in Go Black. The stun. Oh, he's just on the tip. Oh,
The
still
weave.
clips him though. It's all good. They'll lose Go Black.
Necroman went down as well, and the Doom.
Oh, Empire might be able to turn this 2-for-2 into a 2-for-3, as they will find Yapzor. Oh, Mad's still fighting though, bringing Yoku in. The cold feet will in fact kick in, but the heals are there. Yoku turning around with the raises with the slaps will find Mad. Now the snowball comes in from Sing, will finally finish off the Shadow Fiend. Punch onto Silent. They did find the AA. Fall down at the moment on the side of MFF. It's just Sing Sing alive on his own, trying to walk it off as the bolt charges. The shards are lovely, but the rod is also nice. Silent there with a slow onto the Tusk. He's still pretty speedy here, and he's got a snowball. Oh,
Nice.
Oh, Sing with the plays. Level def is there, but the next level plays are the bigger ones there from Sing Sing. So it does end up, and I believe was it a 2-for-4? I mean, 4.
It wasn't great for MFF.
3-for-5, in fact, over the duration of
Yeah,
that.
it definitely was not good for MFF. So what happened was there was a chase going on in the river. Necroman had a weave on him, and he walked kind of towards the tower to pull the creeps off. He got A-tossed. Silent had a haste rune, clicks him twice, takes like 50% of his health, and then just reapers him.
Silent. He's hanging around. Paris is going to find him. Yeah, it's got the backup here of Aloha. Don't take Sam's back available. Yeah, they're going to back themselves off. So, I mean, yeah, you said after that fight, Empire are certainly looking in a stronger position, and they're going to be a bit happy with how Game 2 is going compared to Game 1.
I'm just wondering if the Radiance was the actual choice for this game for Necroman. Because now he's making a transition into Medallion.
Okay.
So he's going for mass minus armor, but Yoku already has BKB, and Silent Middle, I think he did.
Not a lot of ways for him to survive through that one. Everything but the kitchen sink thrown down onto that Necrophos. And off the back of that MFF, looks like they'll start to make the move down the mid lane. Mad with his Sanj on top of the drums. Relatively tanky at this point, 1800 HP for the side of Empire to try and work through when the fights do kick off.
Tower is under attack.
I mean, what do you think of Mad's build here? Why do you feel he's avoided the armlet this game on Chaos now?
I think Armlet is maybe not so good against Doom.
Okay.
Maybe that's what he's thinking about. And also Armlet toggling against Heartstopper is also kind of a pain. Because Heartstopper does a pretty good amount of damage. Like even at level 3, it's 1.2% per second of your health. So if you try to toggle that and you mess up, you're just dead, right? So the radius is pretty big. I think it's like 1200 radius on the Heartstopper aura, so it's fairly large. And he probably just doesn't want to have to deal with that hassle. Just build some strength items instead. Just go for that. Armlet's obviously very good cost efficiency because it's 2,500 gold for damage, health regen, armor, and strength.
And it's nice with the ult.
Yeah, it's very, very nice with the ultimate. I suppose you could turn it on, ulti, and then turn it off again if you wanted to be super safe, but then it's like, why buy the armlet in the first place if you're just not going to use it?
Yeah, of course, the ult cooldown pretty long, so you don't really want to necessarily be building just for that moment, yeah. That's fair enough. Solar Crest now complete on Necroman, here as he does continue to farm. And I think it's kind of going to be the next item that's going to be the really interesting one for me. I mean, does he continue with this? Does he just go for an AC, or...?
He needs straight up health.
Okay.
Like, if you look at his health pool right now, even on strength treads, he barely has over 1100 HP. Now, the Solar Crest gives him a lot of effective health versus physical damage, which is great because they do have Weave, Presence of the Dark Lord, but he doesn't have enough health in general to live through things like the Reaper Scythe getting doomed if he doesn't have his ultimate on. Even the Shaker spells still do a pretty good chunk to him, so I hope he goes back for maybe he gets Halberd, maybe he buys a strength item of some kind, maybe he just goes BKB. He needs to be that frontline hero, though, for the team.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It really does. I mean, over on the other side of Empire, Yoku standing at the top of that graph. 12k coming up in net worth. I mean, he's keeping himself just ahead of the Alchemist, so some pretty impressive farming coming out from this man who is competing with an out with Grievel's Gold and a Radiance. Looking for Beaver Knight, Mr. Sing Song in the trees. Resolution, is he going to go in the next dip? Is he going to find him? Looks like Sing Sing's going to be alright. Empire won't be able to sniff him out. He's going to be fine. Does have the Glimmer Cape as well on the Tusk. Silent looking towards the mid lane. Working towards his Shivas. Has got the recipe. Closing in on the money for the Mystic Staff. With the armor already there. So only 400, well, less than that away from picking up Shivas. The rest of Empire now Silent himself as well. Looking for Roshan. The Ice Blast will come in though. And the question is, can MFF get there quickly enough to do anything about it? Sing Sing dropping in the shards. It's going to be enough to spook Empire by the looks of it, as they will back out, and MFF now will be able to get there in time for the fight to go. Aloha dance indeed, straight up with the punch and the damage. Nice Fisher.
The Radiance.
That Radiance, the value pick up there.
It's automatically paid for itself now. I mean, honestly, if they can get the Roshan off this with the Sigil and the Acid Spray, okay, he just buys back.
Yeah, that scares them as well. MFF aren't happy sticking around with that Earthshaker back on the field.
That's a really good buyback. There's no way they can just give away Roshan like that. You can't give the Alchemist that kind of space.
Ooh, I mean, yesterday the Roche fights were quite something, and we might see some more of it today. Empire, they're going to just start to work this wave round on the bottom, freeing up the Roche. That's coming back in as well. Has of course got the second point in his ult now, and the ult is available. He's going to be hoping for a bit of good RNG, of course, with those summons on the illusions, hoping to get the 3 out rather than the 2. Necroman might be able to find himself a free tier 2 here by the looks of it. Empire seem to have left the mid lane all alone. More money here into the pocket of Necroman, sitting on 2.9k gold on top of that Solar Crest Radiance. MFF now positioning themselves on the high ground in the Dire Jungle. And Empire, in fact, have smoked up themselves. Are they going to smoke back into Roche? We've seen them do it a lot of times before in previous series, and they are going to, by the looks of it. Resolution and Silent go in, and they start to go back to work here on Roche.
They saw him, though. They know exactly what's going on. They get that high ground ward in the top side of the river for MFF, so...
Sing with the shards. I've got to go there a bit quicker, yeah. And they
the shards are blocking Yoku!
Oh, the Aegis is still on the ground.
Oh, he's going to get it.
Nice, yeah. The fight's going to kick off, though. Mad straight away looking for Silent, hit the concoction as well, but they get the Shallow Grave off. Necro's going to live, and he does have that sight, so he will be able to turn around and maybe get that usage off. Necroman has been doomed up. The Glimmer Cape isn't going to save him. The final raise there from Yoku doing it, as Yoku blinked forward, looking for more. He's going to get it. Double kill here for the Shadow Fiend. Now Sing Sing on the retreat, trying to juke it around through the tree line, and he's going to go for the North Duke. Will be able to get himself away. It's just the 2 heroes dropping on the side of Monkey Freedom Fighters, but as you said, Andy, just turning up a little bit too late for the fight.
Yeah, it would have been nice if somehow they could have made somebody else take the Aegis instead of the Shadow Fiend, because the shards blocked him off for a good couple of seconds, but yeah, they were not there in time to really fully contest. And even with the A Blast, it doesn't really seem to matter that much, because they have the Ogre Frost armor that Resolution got from devouring an Ogre later. Nope, he's fine. Very nice grade from Godlike.
Yeah. They don't want to pop that Aegis just like that. They want to save it.
But it really feels like watching the Shadow Fiend This is like Shadow Fiend circa 2013. Like, he went straight BKB, he didn't buy mech, then he went Blink, then he went SNY.
I like it as well. It's certainly working out for Yoku.
Yeah.
I've got to be honest with Yoku, just as a player as well, he's been impressing me over the last couple of days. He's, I mean, we're used to see him in the off lane, but his mid lane performances are certainly up to par with the other teams at this level.
I really always was a huge fan of watching Resolution Shadow Fiend, so when I saw them pick at this game, I thought that they might go back to him playing it, because it's one of his signatures, right? But like you mentioned, Yoku has not been even a little bit of a disappointment to watch. Like, his raises have been on point. He's always been very aggressive. He did well in his lane. I mean, he did better than well. He just, like, owned his lane. So, yeah, all things considered.
And he's always so careful as well. I mean, this man does not die a lot when he plays.
No, he really doesn't. And I mean, that's the offlaner mentality, right? Is when you play offlane, your biggest goal usually is to not give the other team golden experience by dying. So just having that kind of self-preservation tactic on heroes like this, where you also have farm priority, is a really, really good thing to have, in my opinion, because that means that you're not that guy who takes, like, you know, 10 CS a minute and then just dies 5 times in a row. Kind of need that stability, you know?
Sing Sing, 1500 gold in him, on top of the Glimmer. That's at level 11. Just to see what he goes for next on the Tusk. And how is our Alchemist doing now? Still sitting on that money, 2.8k gold. Did pick up a plate mail. I mean, I mentioned the AC as a potential. I mean, do you think he just goes for it here, or is there anything else
he is going
about?
AC, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Chambers picked up as well. But at the same time that, well, Doom has got his AC, in fact, finished for the side of Empire. So they will have that slight aura advantage here for a couple of minutes before Out gets his online.
I mean, he's going to have that extra 400 gold in like a minute.
It is, yeah. It's a small win there.
He's going to have it very, very quickly. But he is stacking armor pretty heavily here. Again, they do have Weave. They do have Presence of the Dark Lord. The AC, like you mentioned, just picked up on the Doom. So there is a lot of minus armor that he has to worry about here. I wouldn't hate to see somebody on MFF pick up a Vlad's. I'm just not sure who can afford it. Everyone's pretty broke right now. I guess Sing could buy it, but I think that he probably wants to go for either some kind of damage or maybe a Blink Dagger to be able to get himself into the fights a bit easier.
I mean, I guess the question is as well, Yoku, we've been talking about his build and how he's been running it here. If it's to follow kind of the builds of the SFs of the past, what does he go for next now after the SNY?
Well, there's a couple of options. He can go for Lifesteal if he wants to be like super tanky. He can just go for Scotty, also kind of the tanky choice, but it's more of a hybrid between the damage and the kite ability. And especially since you're playing against a CK, Tusk, and an Alchemist, Scotty could be a great choice. And even against the AA and Lina, you hit him like 1 or 2 times, you know, you get a main proc on top of that Scotty, and they're not running away. You can just chase them down forever. The other choice is obviously Butterfly, but I think Butterfly is maybe the more push-oriented one. You know, you want to break high ground, you get Butterfly to deal more damage to the towers and such. But, I mean, really, he can buy anything he wants. Like, he can buy Satanic, he can buy Butterfly, he can buy Scotty. All 3 would be great.
A nice pickup as well, of course, here for a lower hard dance. Does manage to finally get that blink out, so it's going to be something else that the side of MFF are going to have to be very aware of in these subsequent team fights. Elsewhere, any other big kind of pickups coming out? There was a Midas that was just finished, of course, for the AA, so AA Paris will look to start working towards that Aghanim's. Looks like Necroman won't be doing that for him this game.
And Sing got his blink too.
Ah, yes. Oh, okay. So, I mean, across the board, a lot of big pickups coming out from both teams. And, I mean, all in all, for a Monkey Freedom Fighters versus Empire game, it's been quite passive. Only 18 kills in 28 minutes. It's certainly a different tempo from the games that we were seeing yesterday.
I think a lot of it has to do with the Alchemist mid. So we're going to see a Ice Blast fly through here. Not going to be successful. Resolution really wanted that kill, but then decided maybe I shouldn't continue chasing that far. But yeah, I think it's the mid matchup that's kind of throwing MFF off, because this lineup, I felt like it could have been very aggressive, you know? Say Necroman goes for a Solar Crest and mech instead of going for Radiance. The timing that you hit with just buying a mech is very early on. You can have it at like 10 minutes, you know? Then you just 5-man, you throw down an acid spray on a tower, you hit the building and you kill it. Then you just keep moving. And the nice thing is, Alchemist can actually tank the tower if you want, if you have Chemical Rage, and you don't need another hero that has Sustain to be able to continue applying that type of pressure. So, all in all, I feel like maybe it's something that they're not totally comfortable with, but they wanted to try.
Talking about pressure, Necroman applying some onto this tier 2 on the bottom lane. TP will come out from Resolution. It's going to be enough to keep it. Oh, Necroman wants to go here. He starts to cook it up, and he's going to find the connection. Just making sure that Resolution can't get the deny on the tower. And they will be able to find that. Same time, though, Empire do find themselves a tier with their own, so it's just a straight-up trade. Can they cancel any of these TPs? Oh, in fact, Yoku stops this because the Aloha Dancer's turned up, and Empire maybe thinking about just taking the fight here. And they'll go straight in. Okay, Echo Slam there to lead it in. They can't control Matt though now. He gets off the ult, tries to turn, bringing in a lower dance. Shallow Grave is there from Go Black. Ice Blast flying through. It's going to be nice. Oh, just connects on the one. They will get themselves one kill. Yoku pops the BKB, looks for the Requiem, forcing Matt back. Necroman turning up the chemical range. Yep, so will find the Light Strike onto Go Black. Beaver Knight blinking forward. The punch of the Rift, ripping him apart. They do find themselves a second kill here, Monkey Freedom Fighters. And even though that was a fight that Empire looked to want to stick around for, sadly doesn't end up going their way. Yoku does survive, but they lose 2 heroes off the bat.
I mean, they kind of threw a solo Echo on the tankiest hero, right? Like, CK has 2,500 HP, and you went in and you tried to solo Echo him to kill him before he was able to do anything. I mean, I guess since Yoku has Blink Dagger, he might have assumed, okay, I'm going to get follow-up from my Shadow Fiend, and he'll drop a Requiem, and then we can maybe kill the CK off that. But as soon as the coordination wasn't there, the fight had already been initiated in a very poor manner. So you kind of have to back up and try to re-engage. Didn't work out. There was a Requiem, but didn't end up saving the Shaker, unfortunately. And the Dazzle either.
Indeed, and 30 minutes. I mean, the graphs, what are we kind of looking at in terms of difference? Well, we can see the Empire did have a bit of a lead, but slowly being worked back towards the favor of Freedom Fighters, and that, of course, is down to this out. Sitting at the top of the individual net worth, 17,000 on him at the moment. Keeping himself a good couple or so ahead of the Shadow Fiend. And now Empire talking about them. Yoku leading his way into the jungle. Has decided to pick up that ultimate orb, so I imagine we're just going to see him go for the Skadi now on top of the SNY.
That's kind of what I thought. Yeah. I think Skadi is pretty much the standard choice. Obviously, we talked about the other things and what they can give you, but I think Skadi is kind of the all-around...
Sing.
Good blink.
Ah, he's fine. Looks like he's going to be A-okay indeed. Mounted 1,600 gold now on top of the blink. Yep, so how's he doing after the Yules? He himself has picked up an ultimate orb. I guess just looking to try and get a Scythe online eventually here for the Lina. Necroman picks up a Yasha on the Alchemist.
Is he going for SNY? I mean, it does make him very fast, because, I mean, Chemical Rage gives you some movement speed, 60. So it's actually a pretty decent amount. You buy SNY, you're running at, what, like 450 plus or something like that when you have Chemical Rage on? It's not too bad. And it does give him some health. I don't think it's going to be Manta unless he wants to go some really clowny, like, maybe he goes back for a harder Octarine or something.
This is kind of nice here for Freedom Fighters. They get the Ice Blast connection on the top lane onto the Silent Necro.
Nice kill.
Oh yeah, with Sing Sing and Necroman. They'll bring him down. Meanwhile, bottom lane going in onto Mad here, leading it through. Aloha Dance will be able to find the kill there with the gang. And they might be able to find some more. So 1-for-1 trade. Position 1 for position 1. Looks like Empire will be able to make the most happen though, as they will find themselves this tier 2 on the bottom lane. Side of Monkey Freedom Fighters, unable to quite get the push right round. The tier 2 is remaining pretty low health though on the top. And Empire, well, they're remaining here with the push. I mean, can they try and go high on the ground? No, it doesn't look like it. They're going to back themselves out. And Roshan may be on the menu for Empire next. Pings are coming out. The Ice Blast has been expended here from Monkey Freedom Fighters, so if Empire can get themselves in here quickly, they should be able to take it down pretty speedily.
Yeah, I think for now, I mean, if they try for Roshan and they get this, I think that there's a possibility the high ground could be on the table for Empire right now.
Yes, I mean, some key items coming out. Resolution's going to have the BKB on him for the next push. And Joker, of course. Also got sent out here, the completed Skadi. So yes, some massive pickups here for Empire. This is going to be a very nice time for them to try and force the issue down mid. Top lane, Sing Sing will find the tower. There's going to be a TP in from Resolution. The crossover from the Ice Blast debuff is there. Sing Sing hanging around here, seeing if anything does kick off. And it may do a little bit lower down in the jungle, because Yoku and Aloha Dance are making a move straight towards the whereabouts of Freedom Fighters, but most of them are backed up. It is just Sing Sing staying in the lane. The pings have come out, and now with the blink 4 from Yoku, blink out from Sing Sing, straight out TP. Aloha Dance gets the Fissure though, cancels the TP.
They don't see him though.
He's at, he's being sneaky here.
Oh, do they see him?
He's glimmer caped up. They don't have any detection.
Okay, they have the courier. They're gonna scout him.
Oh,
Wait,
they blinked
what?
away. No, there's the ping. They're going to come back in for it. No, blinks out. Oh, come on. He's not getting out of this.
He's got glimmer.
Yeah, and they don't have any detection.
Okay, this
Sing,
is...
sing.
He's gonna go for the courier? Okay, he's not.
Oh, my. He's still alive. But, I mean, this is space created at its best.
There's no way they're gonna keep chasing him, right? Oh, he's gonna use weave? Oh, it's down already.
He just used it there in the, in the lane.
You're right, you're right.
And Sing Sing holding on to a lot of money as well. 3.3k gold at the moment in his pocket. So he's going to be very glad
that in the wrong spot.
They didn't get him. Are they still looking for him?
Well, they were for a second.
I think at this point he's going to be fine. Empire. Oh, that ping's coming back out. They're like, he came out. He was still there, guys.
Everyone's like, yeah, we don't care anymore. We're over this. He can get away.
Silent is following down the lane. They have sent a low dance back towards the north. Are they going to try and go for round 2? I mean, Sing Sing's already juked them once. And he jukes out the fish here with a snowball. Oh, Sing Sing! He blinks away just before the echo comes out. I can't believe quite what was he just finally paid with his life. But, classic Sing Song.
I mean, that was some space. I'd say that's a hashtag worth. Plus, okay,
they do.
Blade.
Yeah, Yapsil might pay for it though. Resolution coming in with the Doom. He's pretty speedy though, of course, with this Jules.
I don't think he's going to be faster than Doom because that fire result is going to wear off.
They might find a return. Oh no, Resolution straight away pops the BKB. Says nope. I'm not having any of that. How long is this BKB? It's long cooldown, max cooldown. It's going to be down to 9. He's just going to TP himself out. Silent getting brought in here by the Rift, and they do find the kill onto the Necro. So that is something there, but a bit of a messy game across the lanes, and it's getting kind of crazy 36 minutes in.
I don't know what I just watched. I honestly have no idea what just happened. Like, Silent, he just eats a Chaos Bolt to the face, maybe underestimating how much damage CK actually does. Public service announcement, CK does a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Especially with a new buff to his critical strike. So, he didn't BKB the stun. He died from 100% to 0 in a 3-second stun. And that's a Necro with a Shiva's. He's got ATOS and he's got BKB. And he went 100% to 0 in 3 seconds.
It is scary.
With 22 armor.
I mean, this is the thing about the CK. He obviously does a huge amount when he's got the ult up. When he hasn't got the ult, though, he's going to have a bit of a harder time going toe-to-toe with the carry. Well, most carries. I mean, still Necro. I mean, 1v1 with a Chaos Knight when he's stacked as mad as with a heart complete. It's still pretty risky. But yeah, when he has that ult available, he's just melting through most of these. I mean, we saw there, even Resolution, of course, on this Doom. As tanky as he is, he just put the BKB straight away because he didn't want to give that opportunity for CK to get locked down with a stun because he just knew how much damage Mag can dish out when the Phantasm is online.
Yeah, he respects the Phantasm.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? I know that you can kill me very easily. Doom has atrociously bad base armor, so no reason to take that inherent risk. And looks like there is going to be an Aghanims purchase here on the field. Oh, wait, did he sell it? He had... I'm so confused. I could have sworn I saw... Maybe it was Doom that I was looking at.
Doom's building an Axe, yeah, he's got the point booster.
For a second, I thought it was Necroman who was buying it, and I was like, wait, what? But...
Is Necroman got something coming out of the courier? He's sending it to the secret shop. I mean... Oh, no, wait, you're right. Yeah, no, it's on the courier.
Okay, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, all right. I thought I was, like, losing it. I was like, what's happening?
Yeah, it is on the courier here.
I think he just gives it to the AA, because the AA actually bought an Ultimate Orb, so he's not spending his money towards his own Aghanim, so he's probably just going to have it pulled to him, which is a really nice thing.
I mean, yeah, I guess they do just give the eggs to the AA here. Lina would be nice as well, but I wouldn't be surprised if we maybe see Necroman build a second one for Lina, but I think, yeah, you've got to prioritize the... Yeah, especially now he's level 11 as well.
He gets the biggest damage boost from it. That's the thing.
And against Empire's lineup, it's pretty much their kryptonite.
All right, here we go. Game's going to be back underway. See if Empire are able to take this game too, or if MFF are going to come in here super strong and just go 2-0. I really would like to see the team with the Alchemist win. It's been a while since I've seen that.
And there we go. So yeah, there we have it. Paris now with that free Aghanims upgrade. So let's see what I can do. The Ice Blast so far have been pretty nice. You know, we have seen them come out each time. You know, Necroman's tried to lead him with a concoction, or, you know, the positioning there of Mad brings someone in underneath the cover of it. And Empire at the moment sticking together here in their own jungle. Yoku continuing to be incredibly fat. Has the Skadi and 3.4k gold on top of that one as well.
So the dangerous thing about spending money on other people when you're Alchemist is normally you would be able to be 6-slotted at around 40 minutes. Like maybe even less, you know, if you're having like a really good game, you can get 6-slotted like 30, 35 minutes. But because of the fact that he's not spending money on his own survivability and he's giving it to Sakshka, just saying, okay, you need to land your AA ultis. If they start, for whatever reason, missing, and the Alchemist is down like 6k net worth or something.
I don't know if he's going to be able to do... Oh! Doom raises his arms there looking for the...
Didn't you see what happened last time?
I was going to say. I mean, there's no need to doubt Sing Sing after that performance in the top lane. He is just running circles around the side of Empire at this point.
Yeah, but need to always keep in mind the net worth on this Alchemist. I guess it's kind of impressive that he's given away a 4,000 gold item and is still almost neck and neck with the Shadow Fiend, right?
No, that is true. That is true. Oh, ping's coming out onto Yapzor. They know he's here. Silent. He's close by. Now the TP's come out as well. Yapzor, I think he thinks he's a little bit safer than he may be. As they may come looking for him. Ice Blast looking to set something up here, but there's 4 members on the side of Empire closing in onto Yapzor. He's been spotted out. And he's been taken down. Need a pick off there onto the Lina. And Necroman, I mean, as soon as he's picked up that Axe, straight again, 3.8k gold in the bank, has been spotted out by Yoku. Necroman's just TP straight out. He hasn't got the time of day for that.
I mean, it actually takes Yoku a very long time to kill him. Because of the fact that he doesn't have a straight up damage item, he's pretty much just got the Skadi, the SNY, and Treads. Like, those are his damage items. And sure, he still hits kind of hard, but he doesn't have crit, he doesn't have MKB, he doesn't have anything that helps you like kind of chop through the Alchemist health, so that level 3 Chemical Rage does him a lot of good, especially when he has that Solar Crest evasion on top of it.
Oh, top lane, you got Sing Sing again. It's going to be Paris ready that they find first. Throw out the Ice Blast, but that's going to be that. And that's in fact the gem on the deck here, so gem will go into the hands of Empire. Sing Sing boldly walking down the lane. He is ready for round 2 here. And will blink himself away. Aloha Dance looking for the fish. Oh,
very
slightly off point. Unfortunate there for Empire, and Sing Sing will remain as slippery as he has been previously.
Just making that space, dude. No big deal.
I mean, meanwhile, Matt climbing himself up the board, 1,800 gold. Has picked up that ultimate orb himself. I imagine with the heart and the fact that he's going to be incredibly tanky, he's looking just to buff up the illusion and maybe just get a Manta style, so he's got the massive army out here, do you think?
It could be Manta, it could be Skadi as well.
Yeah, because obviously, I imagine he will just disassemble the SNY. And,
yeah, I mean,
finish the Manta off. I mean, at this point, better than an SNY, maybe look for something else with the Sanj.
The thing about going Manta in this game is that there is a Shaker.
Yeah.
So Skadi makes the illusions themselves tankier. I'm not saying that it's not like okay. Like obviously Manta's fine, but that's the only reason why I would say maybe Skadi is a tiny bit more likely. Because if he goes Manta and he has Phantasm out and he gets echoed, speaking of top lane, Sing.
Oh, he didn't juke that one out.
Nah. Hard to juke the echo. He did it once though.
He did. He really did. He had a nice blink away before. Yoku's going to be going for the butterfly here. This is a pretty smart pickup in terms of MKBs. No one really on the side of MFF going to be having one of those on their plate anytime soon.
Necroman bought his BKB. That's good. So he's actually like... So he's pretty much 6-slotted, right? Like he can buy bots and he can get the...
I guess he can replace the SNY. Does he really want to be holding on to that?
Yeah.
So there's better options at this point of the game for him. And I guess he could always build the Ags for his team. He's still got the Ags to build for Yapzor. And if he really wants to, build one for Sing Sing.
He can build one for himself too, just for the stats.
Yes.
It's not like... It's not completely horrible.
No.
It just seems a bit weird because if you look at his inventory, he's got one very expensive item, right, in the Radiance, and then AC is a little bit less expensive, but it's obviously still 6-slot worthy. And then he's got SNY and Solar Crest, 2 items that are kind of like the mid-range, you know? When you play Alchemist and you build Radiance, typically you look to people to make the biggest cost items possible because just the rate at which you farm is so fast that buying anything else and after 5 minutes it's already outlived its usefulness.
Not resolution. He's not going to waltz into the jungle. There was a mad CK hanging about for him there. Top lane, Sing Sing just blinking away from Silent. Doesn't want to get caught out by this one. And that is going to be Yoku now with the finished butterfly.
Yep. Good stuff. Obviously no MKBs out. Very good damage mitigation against things like CK as well.
And still, I mean, this is certainly a very farm-orientated game, and I guess, you know, looking at the picks, we kind of came to expect that from the draft. Bottom lane, Mad caught out. Dance getting the initiation. Yoku blinking in. Paris is there. Now the Phantasm will come out. Mad waltzing himself away from the Requiem, but still, they might find the kill. Doom is there, and they will get it. They'll bring down the CK. Ice Blast passes over, but that will be that. No one else on the side of Monkey Freedom Fighters ready to fight in that situation. So a good 70 seconds with Mad out of the game, and Empire may look to try and get a bit of a push on it, and maybe even try and force out the buyback here from CK.
Well, he doesn't have Phantasm, so even if he buys back, it's not going to be super effective. And the Echo is now back up for Aloha Dance. I think Roshan is going to be the target, though, as it is respawned. Goblek's already standing in the pit. They know what's up. They're just going to say, yep, it's our time. Time to get an Aegis, time to get some cheese. And I mean...
Look at this damage.
I really think that Empire are in a really good position to win this game.
Yeah, it certainly feels it. I mean, I kind of feel it's the CK. If they get a big fight where the CK just starts to kind of wreck face with the ultimate,
yeah,
that's going to be an issue. But if they're able to pick him off like this, get him out of there, especially when the ult's down, that's going to be something. And Sing Sing, he's finished off his Lincoln Sphere here as well. So we've seen how well he's been able to juke out the side of Empire so far. This is going to be obviously adding a little bit more to his juking potential.
Yeah, definitely. I think the Necro for me is still kind of not really done anything. Like, he's had a couple of situations where he's gotten a Reaper off and then he missed a Reaper, but I think most of it's been kind of like the Doom, Yoku, his play on the Shadow Fiend.
Mad. They may want to be careful here. Yeah, they're going to just blink it straight away. Can't quite find an initiating stun, though. So they will get themselves back out. The full 5-man of Monkey Freedom Fighters is here on this bottom lane. And Empire just waiting for the right opportunity to try and push in onto the high ground. The tier 2 is still in mid lane. Sing Sing rolling in and glimmering out.
Yeah, it's very tense right now for MFF. They know if they mess up once, it could just straight up be the end of the game. They are taking a little bit of time, though, Empire, to push in, so Phantasm will be available.
Radiant's middle tower is under
and I think for the time being, who doesn't have buyback? So pretty much the Tusk, Lina, AA, and Alchemist, actually. So the only person who has buyback is CK. Obviously, Empire can't know this, but if they were, for whatever reason, to take a team fight and they wipe like 2 or 3 off, then they actually can't buy back, and it could have been high ground. But for now, it looks like Empire are going to be content to play it safe. It's going to back up, continue their farm. I mean, they've already taken a pretty passive approach to this game. I don't really see much of a reason for them to change their gameplay now, especially when it's like the most critical point of the game, breaking that high ground. I don't think there's anything else to be said really in that regard. Just they want to make sure that they've played it safe.
Whoa. Sing Sing wants to go for a low hard dance. His silence moving in, but I don't know if they'll be able to save it. It's actually blinking forward, but no. I'll take down the Shaker.
That Echo tickled Mad, by the way.
It didn't do a lot, that's for sure. Sing Sing, he's blinking. He wants to try and find some more here potentially. I've got Go Black and Silent to the right. I do also have Yoku pushing down this bottom lane. Now sitting once again, 3.7k gold on top of the Butterfly. Here's an incredibly rich S7. It's going to be a smoke up here from the side of Monkey Freedom Fighters to see what they can find across the map. 3 heroes at the moment on the side of Empire around their own Ancients over the dire side, and it is Resolution that's on his own. Looking for that refresher orb, and I think he is just 1 Perseverance still short. Okay, Yoku blinking in. We've been dropped. They spot out a couple of them, but Beaver Knight still wants to go. Sing Sing here with the punch initiation to go back. That's actually going to be the shallow grave coming straight out. And they're going to roll in on this. Yoku turning around with the punches onto Sing Sing. Yule's holding back Doom. They've already found the kill onto Tusk. They're going to get Yapso as well with the Necro ult. And that is your Lina down for 90 seconds. Gem has hit the deck here, and Empire will be able to retrieve that. And those were they were 2 massive kills, because neither of these heroes are going to be able to buy back here to defend against this push from Empire.
Empire will find that out as soon as they continue barreling down one of the lanes. Looks like 2 of them kind of wanted to go top. They saw Mad in the area and they had Doom available, so they wanted to maybe try to pick him off there, but couldn't find him. And bottom, Alchemist Illusions just being annoying. Yoku has bots though, so if he wants TP back mid now, he can do that. And I think this is dangerous, man. There is a glyph, but still, like you said, a minute left on Alina. Could be time for Rax.
I mean, look at this pushing power as well. Ice Blast, it's going to be nice. But I don't think MFF can do anything off the back of it with 2 heroes out of the game. And Empire, they just don't even care about the ult. Ags or not, they'll hang around. Now with the TPs coming in, they're a little bit careful. They don't want Mad to pull one of them up to the high ground here with Reality Rift. That could cause some problems here for this push. I'm just waiting to make the right move. Resolution now going back up, starting to work again away at these racks. Mad, he's being Rod of Atos. Ice Blast flying through again. This time goes on to Silent. Yoku pops his BKB here.
I think they just back now, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, they might be able to pick off Goldblack. Bringing him in. Phantasm comes out as well. The fish is nice. Goldblack now with the self-shallow grape. Oh, he's going to try and TP, but he's not going to work. Snowball's there to cancel it. They'll find the Dazzle. Monkey Freedom Fighters would love to find something else, but it looks like Empire, it's a little bit too good with the Delta split across the map. They're not going to give away anything else here. And Mad, of course, trying to make the most here of the Phantasms, and he's going to try and just get a push back down the mid lane.
Yeah, I don't think they're really going to get to base with these illusions or anything, but can use it to push it out a tiny bit. Just trying to maximize the ult efficiency. And looked like MFF really wanted to try to take an engage there, even knowing that Reaper Scythe was back up, and they also had Echo available with Doom. So there's a lot of things that MFF have to worry about during these team fights. I mean, it's... Go ahead.
Are we seeing an Octarine Earthshaker?
It could be.
What do you reckon?
I mean, Octarine is not that bad on Shaker. Like, because you always buy stuff like Force Staff, Blink Dagger, sometimes even Yules on a Shaker, getting that Octarine, lowering the cooldown of those particular items just gives you more mobility in fights. And being able to use a Fissure 25% faster, and even Enchant, which already is only a 5-second cooldown. I mean, there's a lot of things to be said for just getting the spam enchants out and dealing damage and having Echo be like, I think it's like 110 right now at level 3. So it goes down to like 90-something seconds. It's not bad.
We're seeing MKB being finished up here by Yoku. I mean, this man, he certainly packs a punch, and he's certainly proven to be very hard to kill. Has only died that one time in the earlier stages of the game. So Yoku,
he is so farmed.
He's going to be such a nightmare for MFF to deal with when the pushes start to come in. I mean, even if you get lucky with the Phantasms, get a good 4 of them out when you use this ult, I don't know if you're going to be able to get the damage in to take down this SF. If he's got the backup, especially with the Dazzle and the Necro alive, you're going to need to have to hit everything perfectly to kill Yoku at this point.
Not only that, but I really think the Necroman's going to have to transition into a real right-click build. Because right now, this is not like the right-click Alchemist. This is the, I bought a Radiance, I want to farm, then I'm going to buy 2 mid-cost items and not have like a really fully efficient 6-slot type of build, which I get why he did it. He knew the Empire were probably going to have some kind of mid-game timing where they're just going to start 5-manning, and he needed items to fill his inventory so he would be ready for that fight if it came. But the problem is that fight never happened. They never actually said, okay, well, we're just going to 5-man down a lane and try to push your racks. It's more, they got racks after getting, what, 3 Roshans back-to-back? I think it was, something like that. And then these items don't really matter that much anymore.
Necromant is going to opt to hide in the trees here. Resolution and a lower dance. We're trying to get hot on his case, and they may still look for him. Oh, the TP out. They haven't got the vision. He's going to be fine. We'll just TP himself out of this one. He turned off his Radiance to
make sure that he wasn't going to get spotted.
Top lane. It looks like MFF will be the ones to find the pickoff, spotting out Goldblack and catching him out there. And they may find more here. Mad moving forward. He's found Yoku here. He's just got a straight TP out there with the BKB. Doesn't want to stick around and risk having to man fight up against the Phantasms. I mean, we are 51 minutes in, still 14 for 20. This really is a game where both teams are being very careful about the decisions that they're making, because, as you said before, Andy, at this point, one bad decision could almost certainly cost you this game.
Well, even if Empire mess up, it could be the same. Yeah. You know, what if Mad gets to your base with Phantasm, and then you got, like, what, 5 CKs in your base? If you get a lucky Phantasm and you get the 4 spawn from that, then you got plus the real one. Lincoln's purchased here by Mad, just being popped there.
Oh, Mad. Always have Yapsa with a very aggressive blink into 3. Yoku turning it around. Sticking around on these front lines, but nope, still. Either team wanting to get the go. There's going to be Roshan coming back up in a couple of minutes. Aloha Dance has now got that finished Octarine out, so we'll see what he's able to achieve with that in the next fight. Mad is waiting here in the high ground of the Dire jungle, hoping that some kind of aggressive outward movement would come from the teammates of Empire, and they might catch a low hard dance here on the retreat. Throws out a Fisher, and straight away Yapsil's on his case. With the Yule set up, they'll find the stun, and low hard dance will get taken down. That's going to be a gem as well, going back the way of Monkey Freedom Fighters.
No buyback either.
Oh, indeed, he did invest all his gold in that Octarine purchase. The question is, are MFF going to be able to try and force it? The bottom lane creep wave has come out a little bit too far. It looks like MFF, they don't really want to push here without going for Roche first, potentially, as they do hang around the pit and still just waiting for that Roche timer to come to an end.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty fortunate for Empire that they're not actually going to get pushed in here. Maybe MFF are feeling like he could have buyback. Again, it's very hard to judge. Sometimes when you click on a hero and you see a new item, maybe you think he doesn't have it.
Mad and Yapsil are positioned very aggressively, but they
have Phantasm.
They don't have the rest of the team, though, quite yet. Sing Sing's now coming in. I guess they don't need Paris around, but they don't have Necroman for this one. Looks like they're going to be okay. Empire playing this one a lot more safely. Just keeping themselves out. The Sigil will... Yeah, it should spot out Roche. Going to be up any second now. Now with the MKB on to Necroman, they themselves can do this very quickly if they wish to do so. They know it's up, but at the same time, so is the Earthshaker in a few seconds. So Empire will have the tools to go for the fight around the pit. And already Yoku and Resolution moving in, so we could see quite a key fight kick off around this point, Andy.
Yeah, it could be the make or break for either team, honestly. Even though MFF have been kind of behind, I would say, just in terms of map control, they lost their middle range racks. Empire have been doing a really good job of controlling the pace of the game. This is the stage now where we're talking about Cheese, we're talking about Aegis, and if you win a really big fight around this pit, you can just walk down the lane and just take it.
They want to start to go in. Here we go, Empire kicking it off here. In comes the movement from MFF. Shards being thrown out to lead this one in.
It's dying really fast.
They've got to get in there quickly. Light Strike Array. Catch them out. Go Black graves himself. There's the snowball initiation here. They're going to try and look for a steal, but Yoku is doing a lot of damage here to Necroman. Necroman just can't fight up against this. Roshan has gone down. Sing Sing did manage to snag the Aegis, and he'll be there with a second life here. Yoku still got the Requiem. Mad trying to chase down people here. Look at the Phantasm damage at low hard does. Getting ripped to pieces. Necroman is still there, Mad. He's found the gem on the deck. There's going to be a Doom thrown out to Beaver Knight. Refresh it, and he doesn't get the second Doom out because Paris has got that Lincoln Sphere. Yoku getting caught out by the Concoction Stun. They're chasing down the SF. He's trying to turn and fight Necroman. He won't be able to do it. He's going to hit the deck as well, and 4 heroes at the moment dead on the side of Empire. And what a Roche fight here for the team of MFF, finding some massive kills. And the buyback there from Necroman being absolutely key in terms of finding that kill onto Yoku off the back of it. And what a fight, Andy.
I mean, that's the nice thing about having an Alchemist on your team. You're always going to have money for buyback on that hero, pretty much no matter what circumstances you're in. So the thing about that fight was Sing actually stole the Aegis, right? So he tried to punch Roshan to get the last hit, ended up missing it, so Empire got credit for the kill, but he ended up picking up the Aegis. I'm not sure who picked up the cheese in the end, but as soon as that happens, Doom was already like running away. He's like, all right, I'm out. This is no longer the fight I want to take anymore. We saw the Phantasm just doing absolute work on the back line. Silent as a Necro, he can't do anything against Phantasm. Like, if those things are out and there's no Shaker ulti to stop them, they just run rampant throughout the team fight. And because Mad has 4,000 health and he's looking towards another item right now, he can get rid of his drums, he can get rid of the TP, make himself even more beefy than he already was. That CK problem's only going to get worse. And I really don't know if Empire have what it takes to deal with it in the ultra late game.
I mean, worth noting as well, we saw in that last fight, trying to get those Dooms off. MFF, pretty much the anti-Doom team at the moment. 4 heroes rocking the Lincoln Sphere.
Yeah, it's super annoying to play against this kind of thing. And I think maybe some of it is Empire letting the game go on too long. Because I think there was a point, maybe like 35 minutes in, 40 minutes in, where they had a decent enough advantage to really like, okay, let's go push. You know, let's actually pressure MFF a bit. But they've given Necroman all the time and space in the world to continue to farm items. He's at the point now where he's selling shit. He's like, I don't need this SNY, I don't need this Solar Crest anymore. I just need to change my items out. I need to buy something new to make sure that I can contest the Shadow Fiend in the late game. And the first step in that process was obviously buying the MKB. So now, we're kind of in that territory where MFF's lineup is going to pull ahead naturally.
Wanted to go in there. The Doom will catch him out, though, here. And he may be in trouble. Phantasm from Mad. No, the backup is there. Echo Slam comes out. It just doesn't do enough damage here. Lower Dance will be kept alive here temporarily by the Shallow Grave. Sing Sing has brought back. Mad rips in a Lower Dance. They'll find the Earthshaker kill. The Illusions and Necroman finding themselves a second one as Dazzle goes down. Yapzor setting it up onto Resolution, but Resolution gets out the BKB. Trying to look for a turnaround kill onto Lina now. Attention toward Patch, but here's Mad with a ripping onto Yoku. Getting blown up. Mad on a killing spree. Silent there with the BKB. They just can't kill Yapzor. Yapzor blinks away. He will live. Concoction stuns up Resolution. Double kill for Mad. And now Sing Sing with a snowball, looking for that 5th and final kill. It will go cross terrain. Won't quite catch down Silent, but oh, he goes the wrong way. Sing Sing. No, he pings him out. He spotted him. And will they be able to find Silent? Ice Blast. The vision will be there now. Here we go. Sing Sing wants to finish this off. Gets the punch. Needs a bit more backup. And well, the team's actually said, screw the Necro. We're going for the base. And they're starting to push down mid. But what a fight again for MFF, as they are just bringing themselves right back into this game. And I think if you're Empire, you're starting to wonder where it all went wrong.
Again, I think they just waited too long. You cannot underestimate CK's late game, especially when you don't have the heroes to really like burst him down. And there's so many freaking Lincolns that normally you would start the fight by throwing out a Doom onto Mad and saying, okay, well, there's no Phantasm. We can take this fight now. Or you throw a Doom on a Necroman and you say, all right, no Chemical Rage. He's going to be a lot less tanky. His base attack time is not so crazy, so we don't have to worry about his damage output.
Look at this.
But they can't find the openings. That's the problem. There's so many damn Lincolns.
That's the Oh, Echo Slam gets 2, but it's just not enough. Yapzor and Paris getting low. If they can find these 2 pickups, there's going to be something. Yule Scepter from Yapzor, keeping himself alive. Tries to get out of the Laguna and will do, but they've lost both the supports. Mad, we're trying to find Gold Blood, but now the turnaround. Yoku managed to get out his damage this time. And they will find 3 there from MFF, and the defense is real from Empire. And they've got a window now where AA and Lina are on the sidelines for a full minute. We'll see what they're able to do with it. But Empire proving that they haven't quite given up this game yet. They're still very much in it. Abyssal Blade now picked up by Necroman. And let's see how Empire's push can get on here with this mid lane motion.
2 of the heroes, no buyback, with just the CK having it. Phantasm isn't going to be up in time yet. Will be up if he wants to buy back and try to fight this. And this could be Empire's opportunity. They should be able to get the melee racks, I think. I'm not even sure if okay, they are going to buy back for their melee racks. I was going to say, the Lina just got enough money for buyback through gold ticks, but before she did not have it. Is this Empire's time? They want to actually try to do this. They have no Echo.
Oh, tries to go in and we'll get the Doom onto Mad. Fisher there as well, moving in. If they can take down this Chaos Knight, he's getting low. Has been doomed up. Will he be able to get himself back to the fountain? It looks like he will here with the Glimmer Cape. Resolution blinking forward. The double Dooms are out, but they will get themselves back into the fountain. They should be fine, but this has forced them back and created space here for Empire to maybe find the middle lane of racks here. Yapzor moving in. There's going to be the BKB hit pop by Resolution as he's going incredibly deep here, showing no fear. The Dooms have now worn off here for the side of MFF. They can get themselves back out. Ice Blast there. Will connect onto Silent. Paris, he's eating a lot of damage here from Yoku, but there's the Abyssal from Necroman. And now Mad trying to move in with the Illusions, and they will be able to get... No! Shallow Grave there, keeping Yoku alive, allowing him sometimes to get his damage out, but the low heart dance has dropped. Yoku will finally fall. It's a double kill here for Mad. Now Resolution trying to fight into the Absol. One more slash will do it, but he's Mad here with a triple kill. Just clearing up house. He's going to look for Go Black here. He'll almost certainly find it. Ultra kill here for Mad on the Chaos Knight, and it will be Resolution falling as well, as Sing Sing will help clean up the team. The buyback's coming out straight away here. Buyback from Necro, buyback from Shaker. But again, MFF cleaning up, and Mad on this CK has become an absolute nightmare for the side of Empire to deal with.
His damage output is ridiculous. Like, as soon as Phantasm comes out, 4 or 5 CKs on the field, each dealing 100% of his damage with the new addition of the 5 armor reduction from Chaos Strike. It is so insane. Like, between him and the Alchemist just beating on somebody, especially considering I believe Necroman did get the Abyssal Blade. Yeah, he's got it now.
Yeah, so it started off there on the SF.
It's just so much damage. Like, look at how fast they're killing this barracks.
That's going to be the mid lane cleared up. Mad. Look how confident he feels. There's still 3 down.
Are they really throning this? I mean, there's going to be Echo up in about 10 seconds. This is a very risky throne, I feel.
Well, they've still got Doom on the sidelines for a minute. There's 35 seconds before this SF comes out, and I think they've realized now there's no buybacks available. MFF here are going to try and go for the win, and I think they're going to get away with it here. Empire.
Are they? Did they just win?
They just don't have the tools to stop this. Mad working away. There's your Echo Slam. Necroman plus the BKB. He's going to look for the kill on a low hard dance. Finds the stun. Now Sing Sing will help finish off the Shaker. Abyssal Blade holding in position, and that is going to be GG as MFF take the game. And what a performance there from the team. And the CK, it was just too much. Mad was just too damn powerful in the late game.
That first Roshan fight, where we had a real glimpse of what a Chaos Knight can do, I think Empire kind of panicked and said, okay, we actually have no way to deal with this. Like, there are 4 Lincolns on MFF. If we mess up our Dooms, we pretty much just straight up lose the engagement, because between Mad and Necroman, we don't have enough to actually kill them. So in a way, they actually picked a team that required 2 Dooms to really reliably take the engagement. Like, you want to Doom the CK, you want to Doom the Alchemist, right? But I think they were kind of got a little bit too caught up in that and took a little bit too long to win. I think that there was actually a stage, like we mentioned before, like 40, 45 minutes in, they had a very significant advantage. And it was still that point where Necroman, he didn't have MKB.
No,
he didn't have Abyssal, and Yoku had Butterfly.
Yeah.
So if you take the fights when you know you have the item advantage, it's a lot easier to win. And of course, as most things in Dota, easier said than done.
Oh yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I'm sure if they thought they had like that timing down pat, they would just go for it. But I think that as soon as that Roshan fight happened, it was just a turnaround, you know?
Yeah, pretty much off the back of that. And MFF, that's going to be the first series we've had here this season of Dream League on day 2 that's been a clean sweep. 2-0, of course, to the side of Monkey Freedom Fighters. So they're going to be very happy with that. And doing it against Empire as well, a team that from yesterday we saw did have a bit of hope. But today, Monkey Freedom Fighters just dashing any aspect of that. And what a series once again to start the day here, day 2 of Dream League. And well, that's going to be it from myself and Andy for a bit. We'll be back later with NIP versus Alliance, but we're going to head you straight over to the panel to see what they have to say about that matchup there between MFF and Empire.